It was Karl Barth who said, though no one can go back and make a brand new start, anyone can start from now and make a brand new ending. And to help you make new endings, we motivate you with words of wisdom to steer you away from a life of crime and encourage you to get that degree you've always wanted. Hello, I'm Adrian Atkinson, and thanks for tuning in to Jamaica Magazine. Today's show is about making decisions that will uplift and make us contribute positively to society. So later we also hear from persons about how they will play their part. Don't go anywhere. The show starts right now.
Anonymously report allegations of corruption, bribery, fraud, or acts of malfeasance. Help the Revenue Protection Division, RPD, secure the government's revenue. To help, citizens may call the Revenue Protection Division at 1-888-225-5773 or Crime Stop at 311. The RPD, partnering with you, securing the public purse for growth and development.
Good day, I'm Theodore Henry, and this is your GIS News for Thursday, January 4. Sangster International Airport is to undergo $40 million worth of infrastructural upgrading starting this calendar year. Chief Executive Officer of the airport, Dr. Raphael Ekevarni, says the maintenance and improvement works should be completed within 2 years. The upgrading works are being conducted by Montego Bay Jamaica Limited, operators of the facility. It will include renovation of the ticketing area, the arrivals corridor, and the immigration hall. Over the past few years, Sangster has continuously been improved to accommodate the increase in passenger arrivals, which Mr. Ekevarni says should continue this year.
As a result of the growth of passengers in an unprecedented matter, the growth of passengers in 2017, we were forecasting it to be 4%. We are going to end the year at 8%, which is tremendous. So, as I say, when this happens, things have to happen at the airport to ensure that we can actually welcome passengers and airlines as they should be welcome in a destination like Jamaica.
The first cargo of alumina produced by the Alpart refinery in St. Elizabeth under its new Chinese owners has left the island. The shipment of 35,000 tons of alumina left Port Kaiser at Alligator Pond on Friday, destined for China. It is the first following the resumption of operations in June after acquisition of the plant by China's state-owned Jiquan Iron and Steel Group, JISCO, and comes after a 9-year hiatus. JISCO paid $299 million to acquire Alpart and spent more than $60 million to facilitate its reopening. Mining Minister Mike Henry says it's a sign of great things happening and coming for the sector.
The bauxite alumina industry has experienced a rebirth, the likes of which we've only seen once before in Jamaica. On this trip it is only supposed to carry 35,000 tons of alumina. But I'm sure when this Port Kaiser is expanded, that'll be a mega ship docking here for almost 4 million tons that will be shipped annually.
Meanwhile, the mining minister has announced that 60 young Jamaicans will depart for China towards the end of February into early March for training in technical operations. They will be the first cohort in a program that will continue at a cost of approximately $5 million.
After successfully completing 1.5 years of training, they will return from China to guaranteed positions with a clear career path to middle and upper management positions.
The program is being facilitated by JISCO. Minister Henry thanked the company for the transference of knowledge through that initiative, as well as its employment of 900 individuals, over 80% of whom are Jamaicans, from top management to maintenance workers. Another 300 Jamaican workers will find employment during the construction of JISCO's new refinery and power plant. Tax Administration Jamaica, TAJ, has so far collected approximately $71 million in outstanding traffic fines and processed 38,000 tickets since the start of the current phase of its traffic ticket amnesty. The amnesty, which started on November 27 last year, ends on January 13. With less than 2 weeks until its conclusion, TAJ says it has begun seeing increased numbers of persons visiting tax offices and logging on to its website to pay outstanding traffic fines. The agency is encouraging persons to utilize its online payment facility to avoid the expected rush at tax offices. Walk-in customers are meanwhile urged not to wait until the last few days of the amnesty to visit tax offices. Motorists must have the outstanding ticket or ticket number in hand to make their payments online or at any tax office. And finally, Prime Minister Andrew Holness has called on church leaders to preach against crime and violence and its undermining force on the family structure. He was speaking at the 13th Annual National Gathering of Heal the Family, Heal the Nation, held at the National Arena yesterday.
You have to bring it to your pulpit. We can't allow much of what is happening to be covered up, particularly the abuse that is happening within families.
He argued that much of these kinds of abuse result in the perpetuation of greater physical abuse, such as beatings from parents who are supposed to protect their children.
If you see something like that, it is not right. It cannot be accepted practice in our culture. We must expose it and preach against it. And if you see someone suffering, quietly reach out to them and help them.
The event was held in partnership with the Jamaica Umbrella Group of Churches under the theme, Jamaica is God's place, so is my house. It brought together members of a number of denominations to pray for the nation, families, and Jamaica's leadership. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Theodore Henry. Thanks for watching.
Family,
School,
church,
community.
all important agents of change in our society.
They influence what we think about ourselves, our surroundings, and how we see the roles of males and females.
Let's all work together for equality for all Jamaicans.
Let's make Jamaica a place where both males and females have equal access to a good education, good jobs, the best healthcare, and opportunities for the good of the country.
Males and females are different, but it doesn't mean they're not equal.
Let's build a Jamaica that doesn't discriminate. Become an agent of change.
It's a new year and many persons have expressed that they want peace and love to reign and for the crime to stop. They've gone even further to indicate how they will play their part to achieve this.
My wish for Jamaica is that it continues to develop, that we become more loving people, recognize that together we can accomplish much. We have been through a lot as a nation. Well, I will certainly be working within my own circle, my community, church, and other institutions that I represent to ensure that persons recognize the importance of building the community, building the nation.
We just want the violence to cease, you know, and have a better Jamaica, because more violence, less tourists, and we have less income coming into Jamaica. We just have to spread the love, you know, and spreading the love cease the violence.
Less crime and more love, and everyone looking out for each other. I have to play my part by starting with my community and people around me.
It's a good prosperity for the people, them, and more life and more strength for the young people. Them. Hope God will bless it and everybody, you know. Everybody go choose good and safe, you know. Yeah.
For me, I will take the young youth with them. This is another young guy that always is from my community. I take him along with me and have other workers just the same. So I bring them out, the youth them in the community, you know, to get to work with me.
I'd love for people to celebrate the fact that we are Jamaica. We have the liberty, we have the creativity for Kingston, and indeed that people come in harmony and work together to build back Jamaica.
That the prosperity will continue, that we will have peace and harmony among our citizens, that our abuse of women and our children will discontinue, and that the violence that we're now experiencing will be minimized.
My wish for Jamaica for 2018 is for people more to focus more on them life and to focus more about building each other, not to tear down each other or judge each other. By doing more prayer, by believing God, and by building positiveness with every entity that wants to do something for Jamaica.
I had a plan for my life. I was going to be a doctor. I was going to be the first in my family to do great things. Then a friend of mine sold me into prostitution. You mash up my life.
Stop human trafficking. It destroys lives. If you or anyone you know has been a victim of human trafficking, call 811 or 1-888-PROTECT. Be wise. Open your eyes. Spot them. Stop them. A message brought to you by the National Task Force Against Trafficking in Persons.
Me a 15, me na run down no baby daddy, me a stay in a school, be merry, get my education, so young girls, if you no mess up, get up, brush off, and remember, nourish.
A group of changed men who know what it is to spend years in prison are now spreading the message of hope to youngsters and reinforcing the reality that crime doesn't pay. They are men with a message that will help to create the safer Jamaica we all want.
I'm on the rise, I'm on the rise.
I was like a rebellion against the system. But that never was the way, Virgin.
I was convicted and sent to prison. Spent 14 years on death row. Only see 5 minutes of sunlight each day for 14 years. I was taken to the gallows and was supposed to be hung. Twice they built coffin for me and twice they dig hole. But God knows best.
Men who have made wrong choices in their past.
These are men who were either incarcerated or persons who were informal enforcers, as we say in Jamaica. These were persons who had no regard for law and order, who have actually, by whatever means possible, by whatever stimuli, have actually decided that they don't want that life anymore. They want to actually be positive role models in society.
Now they are sharing their experiences with the determination of reaching out to the youths and even their peers to not make the same mistakes they did. And by so doing, they are helping to restore and preserve the society's value system, thus securing the rock with their message.
Trenchtown youths, top up love, delete violence. Things take time to do if you take time to do it. Trenchtown youths, focus, take life serious.
We are trying to help them to realize that crime and violence is not something that is good. It's something that will destroy the society and the entire family. And once the family is destroyed, then the society will be destroyed.
Men with a Message is an initiative out of the Citizen Security and Justice Program, CSJP. The group, which consists of 10 men, was identified by CSJP's community action officers from among the program's many participants. Having received vocational and skills training, placed in jobs and managed to maintain clean police records for at least 2 years, the young men successfully navigated the interview process and were made ready for their mission. Armed with a different attitude, these men are now fighting against the same plague that once struck them: crime, violence, and lack of education.
To live a better life and to act in a better manner, education is the surest guarantee for a better life. You can't constantly do something when not giving you a good result. That's madness. That was how I define badness. So who I run down badness and madness. Because I was in it, so now listen keenly. So any man out there come for you, so I go to the eye there, all them can get to know.
It is reported that young men between the ages of 15 and 25 are most vulnerable to criminal activities. So, as part of the CSJP's initiatives within volatile communities, Men with a Message have been going into youth clubs and schools through the Safe Schools program to deliver their message of transformation.
I definitely want these youngsters to understand that crime on our whole is not something that they should want to indulge in. We know we cannot totally eliminate crime and violence from the society, but at least we can help to minimize it to a tolerable level.
Principals have actually reported that after Men with a Message have come and spoken to the students, delinquent students have actually been the ones now to curb the other students. There have actually been cases where students have been collecting knives from other students as a result of Men with a Message coming and speaking to them.
It doesn't have to be that we have gunmen around and so on, but it has to be that they understand that when they become men themselves, they have to become men of standard, men of worth, men of value. And that is what our society needs. And so many of these boys lack seeing men who are role models in this way.
I would like to see from this program youth getting the benefit that I know is there, because I am also a recipient of the program.
The common good of the society of Jamaica, which should always be the new name of justice, cannot be achieved by means of violence, because violence destroys what we intend to create.
These may seem like just words, but not to these men. With the CSJP operating in 50 communities, the men are spreading their message that change is possible and that the cycle of violence and underachievement from the inner city can be broken. And they are also living testimonies that the CSJP's programs actually work.
Jamaica, join with us to secure the rock. Top up love, delete violence. Jamaica youths, blessed love.
I'm on the rise, I'm on the rise.
This is Romain Virgo. I'm here appeal to all of the youths them to just stay away from crime and violence. We know the temptation, the money, the fast life. People say them rate you. But that will only take you nowhere. If you stay in school and focus, and you can achieve anything. Be your own leader. A gang is a dead end.
A message from the Ministry of National Security.
Hello? Where is that? Me a come, hold on, me a come.
There is no excuse for speeding. In 2014, 330 persons died in road accidents. 65 persons were motorcyclists. So stop speeding. Motorcyclists and pillion passengers, wear your helmet, ride carefully, and kill your speed before it kills you. Remember, road safety begins with you.
Thinking of getting that degree you've always wanted? Is getting to class a challenge for you? Well, that can be solved by simply choosing the process of long-distance learning. Here's how it works at the University of the West Indies.
Learning has long outgrown the traditional classroom with its blackboard and chalk.
And as new technologies emerge, access to higher learning has increased, and convenience is the name of the game.
I wonder what time. Oh, I have class in 5 minutes. I better hurry so I can join them in time. It's a good thing my class is right here at home. All I need is my laptop, internet connection, and I'm good to go. I can even take part in class and access all my lessons online.
As simple as that. Technology integration to support education has been improving over the years, from the infant stage to the tertiary level.
This has been more evident through what is known as the Open Campus, a more advanced form of distance or e-learning. It offers multimodal teaching and learning services through virtual and physical site locations globally, and all in the comfort of your personal environment.
Everything is virtual. You can have your study time whenever time you please, midnight, whatever time. And the lecturers, you can interact with them, whether it be Skype, Illuminate.
Through the use of information and communication technology, learning has become more web-based, supplementing the traditional setting for formal instruction. This gives open campuses the capacity to increase networking among campus sites, as well as among students and faculty members within those locations.
What we realize is that there is a need in our region to expand access to education, to tertiary education. So what we have done then is to utilize the technology to be able to bring that education to the community and to the people so that they can study from where they are. So instead of them coming to the education, we're bringing the education to them.
Working in Kingston, living in Buff Bay, I don't have time for a classroom environment, so the online situation was just perfect.
And participating in
Web conferencing is another feature of open campuses, and through the use of special software, students and tutors are connected in synchronous sessions using the internet. But those who still opt for a classroom setting can come here. At the UWI, open campus conference rooms are fitted with microphones, so sessions can truly be interactive.
Another convenience of the open campus is what is called streaming media.
This is where course details in the form of videos are streamed through a computer network. This allows students to view videos or listen to audio anytime, anywhere.
El membrete gordo. Our technology platform is based primarily on broadband in our sites, but students who live where they don't have broadband can also download their courses in a reasonable time, even with dial-up.
A flexible open source platform called Moodle is used to develop the courses, which are then uploaded. Studying online has been widely adopted in the Caribbean, and for Jamaica, it's a welcomed option. The University of the West Indies has approximately 42 open campus locations across the region. 11 of them are located in Jamaica, and together they serve 16 countries in the English-speaking Caribbean. Such networking significantly reduces traveling costs, making tertiary education more accessible to more people.
We know, for instance, that the government is pushing access to the internet and access to computers. And this is going to be a great partnership for us to be able to really raise the level of education access in the rural areas and in more remote areas of Jamaica.
No, son. A verb is an action word.
Parents need to become more involved in their children's education.
Parents are the first and in many cases the most important teachers.
Read with your children. Review their schoolwork. Visit their school.
Tapping and rapping and slapping, I said.
Nice. High five. Woo! A good education will never decay.
Parents, how do you think your children feel when they are beaten?
I feel so sad when my mother beats me. It makes me feel so angry.
I feel embarrassed, and I feel like you just don't care.
It has been proven that coercive parenting is directly linked to the aggression your children are displaying in schools. The National Parenting Support Commission is imploring you, parents, rethink your actions. Stop beating your children.
A message from the National Parenting Support Commission in collaboration with Ministry of Education, Youth and Information for improved safety and security in schools.
It's a new beginning. New day is dawning. It's time to arise. We have the gene of achievement and pride.
Bold new beginning, time for action. We have the spirit to fight on.
This is Jamaica, this is our land. We have our future with God in our plan. We'll play our part building this great nation. This is Jamaica, this is our land. Let us make every effort to forge unity and resolve to work hard for our prosperity. Leaving our children a legacy of hope, breaking the shackles and smashing the yoke. This is Jamaica, this is our land. This is we have our future with God in our plan. We'll play our part building this great nation. This is Jamaica, this Let me is hear the our children land. say. This is Jamaica, this is our land. We have a future with God in our plan. We'll play our part building this great nation. This is Jamaica. Come on, everybody, let's sing. This is Jamaica, this is our land. We have our future with God in our plan. We'll play our part building this great nation. This is Jamaica, this is our land.
Jamaica, together we can.
As you chart the path for your life this year, remember, your success and happiness lies in you. Resolve to keep happy, and your joy and you shall form an invincible host against difficulties. A powerful message from American author Helen Keller, who became blind and deaf after an illness. Join us again tomorrow for another program. And remember, you can stay connected by clicking on our website, jis.gov.jm. And while you're online, send your feedback to Jamaica Magazine at jis.gov.jm or via tweet at JIS News. On behalf of the entire production crew, I'm Adrian Atkinson. Do take care.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.